The U.S. is in an effort to boost relations with Africa, with Antony Blinken's trip to the African continent last week.
Blinken claims it is not attempting to be in competition with any other countries, but experts say differently.
Equality at last. That is what U.S. President Joe Biden's reframed Africa strategy pledges to the fastest-growing continent. Secretary of State Antony Blinken summed it up thusly during his whirlwind trip to Africa last week.
What we seek most of all is a true partnership between the United States and Africa. We don't want an imbalanced or transactional relationship. And our commitment to a stronger partnership with Africa is not about trying to outdo anyone else.
Except, Africa watchers say, two countries loom large. China, whose Belt and Road Infrastructure Initiative has crossed the continent, and Russia, whose foreign minister also took a recent tour of the continent to remind African nations of old ties from the post-liberation era.
I think the shift in rhetoric is an important one, and also one that is really aimed at countering China's use of the term partnership, economic development partners, that has been well received across the African continent in terms of being more respectful.
The White House says this will be exemplified later this year at a revamp of 2014's U.S.-Africa Summit. At that summit, then President Barack Obama made a point of not inviting Zimbabwean leader Robert Mugabe, who grew increasingly authoritarian before his death in 2019. And he is not the only African leader to have served for several decades, a challenge to the U.S. policy of pushing democratization.
I think the United States is in a very interesting, juncture here, where if you have to try and at least appear to want to have, everybody around the table, even people that you rather not have around. So I expect there will be a lot of African leaders there.
And he said there is a real sense that this policy, while materially not too different from previous policies, carries a note of truth and reconciliation.
What I like about it is, so there's a particular language about the United States saying, we think we may have acted dishonorably. It doesn't use that word, but something similar. In the past, we've not always been true to our word, but hey, we want to wipe the slate clean.
So is this a fresh start? In these uncertain times, the U.S. clearly hopes.